we're back.
Up and running, made it through another week.
Week number 4.
Week
Or
number
show number
4.
4. Show number 4.
Officially 4.
Yeah.
We had some other ones that got flushed down the toilet. So BP.
Yep.
BP.
Yep. Old Paul and Nick, he got it done.
Yeah.
I didn't follow much of it. I just saw a deal on Twitter that he won. So.
Yeah. Well, I knew he was like in second place on Friday, and then I think he was in the lead yesterday, and then sealed it. Yeah, that's pretty nuts. Look at that screen. Look at your screen. See the size of that worm he's using? Oh, yeah. Yeah, he was nailing them pretty good.
How'd you do it? What'd you catch him on? And he was talking about using a Nico rig, and but then he also was talking about apparently he caught an 8-pounder, and he said that it was wrapped up in a tree. He says he has a GoPro footage of it that he's going to put on YouTube, but he said it literally was wrapped up in a tree for 3 minutes, and before he got it landed, and it didn't come off, of course.
Really?
Yep. He said he's got GoPro video that he's going to post of it.
And I was watching one video where he was digging one through the brush, and it was all hung up there, but he pulled it out. Yeah, that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. It's kind of nice that, well, he's kind of our local guy.
Yeah, him and Luke Clausen.
And we're all the way up in Washington State, so don't get a lot of big name fishermen.
Nope.
Coming through here. Now, that was pretty cool. I wonder how much he won.
100,000.
100,000.
Yep. Yep, 100,000.
Pretty good there.
100,000 and automatic berth into
the Classic.
Next year's Bassmaster Classic.
I got the results up. So yeah, 93 pounds.
So
yeah, second. Yeah. We had Jordan Lee, man. He was right there, top 5.
All right.
That dude's going to be a force.
Oh yeah.
G-Man.
A lot of those young guys.
Just missed top 10.
So you got Brent Ayler up there in second. He's I want to say he's a California guy. Jacob Wheeler.
Yeah, G-Man got 11th. Let's see here.
I don't think he heard you.
Who?
Well, you better walk out fast. She said she didn't want to be on camera, so you better walk out fast.
Before I flip the screen.
Yeah.
So Mark Daniels finished 25th. Man, where did Iconelli finish at? Good even. Oh my God.
Well, only the top 12 fish today.
Well, yeah, but so Iconelli must have been done fishing like the second day. I don't even see. There he is, 80th.
Aaron Martin's 28th.
80th.
Yeah, Luke Clausen, there's our other local guy, 33rd.
Even KVD was done fishing on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Cruise Missile Bates, he was done.
Yep.
Man, there's some big names that
Greg Hackney, 66.
got their asses stomped.
Yeah. And that's the thing, that's that's the deal about fishing. We've talked about that before. It's not like car racing. Like it's not. I don't know. To me, you don't have somebody go out and run like the whole Elite Series and finish like top 10 or top 12 every week. Yeah, that just doesn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
Not very often.
Well, yeah, because either you find them or you don't.
Yep. Like look at let's see here. Look at the AOY standings.
I gotta find them.
Yeah, if you go to the top under anglers. Now, I don't know how their point system works as far as how many points they get for, each position or whatever, but got Jason Christie leading and Ott Defoe, Jacob Wheeler. I mean, like old Polinek, I don't know where he was before this week, but he's moved up to 6th. Yep.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. If you think about it, you ever hear? Are you, like say you're reading Instagram, and it's like, let's say it's from BP or something like that. And there's always the one Yahoo that, oh man, you are so lucky that you get all that stuff, and you live in the dream and everything else. And every time I see that, and I just want to go, dude, he earned that shit.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't like he just said, "Hey, I'm going fishing," and all of a sudden everybody started handing him free shit. No, he earned it.
Yep.
One thing with celebrities and fishing pros or anything, they work their ass off for where they're at every weekend.
It makes me think of the last one, or not the last one, but one of the Ike Lives I was listening to. Him and Pete were talking about it. What does it take to be a pro? And they're talking about people don't realize, those first off, they don't win that often.
Right.
So they're out there grinding, and it's not just the tournaments. Like those, like Ike and Ellie, for example, that dude will go out from sun up to sundown, day after day. Jacob Wheeler, I listened to a Ike Live episode that he was on after he won the first tournament of the year, and they talk about how he will go out for like 3 days on a lake and drive around and graph. Like, will not even pick up a fishing rod. Like, he will just drive around and graph and mark waypoints to where when he's done, he's got like thousands of waypoints. Like, that's putting in the work.
Oh yeah, yeah. You hump your ass off to make that money and to do that, and
yep.
the time away from the family and everything else just to make that paycheck, so your wife doesn't have to work and your kids have everything they need, and they are out there humping their butts off to make that happen. Where we're out there humping our ass off to take a picture of a fish.
Right.
Yeah.
And most of the time, most of them don't make a lot.
No. Hell, a couple of them, they haul ass back so they could be back to work by Monday or Tuesday.
Right.
And they're still out there humping it, but that's their dream. Yeah, the only difference between, this guy making money fishing and me is that he loves what he's doing. I don't love my job, but he loves what he's doing. He's getting paid for it. He busts his ass off, but he gets paid for it.
He likes going to work. He likes going to work on Monday.
Yeah.
We dread Monday.
Yeah, right. He likes going to work. We just don't like going to work.
Yep.
But yeah, that always irks me every time I hear somebody say that. Oh, you're so lucky and must be nice, or you get the a-hole. Oh, must be nice to be able to do that. Oh yeah,
Right.
How about when you sleep in your truck for freaking 6 months because you don't have money to buy a hotel when you're out fishing, and
Yep.
wiping your ass with used toilet paper.
Hmm.
It just kills me. Some people just don't get it.
Hey, speaking of that, so I've been trying to walk the last few days. Like I've been going on some walks and stuff. So I fire up the old podcast and I throw in some Ike Live or something, and I'll listen to it while I'm walking. And one of the last ones I listened to was talking about that very thing. And it was a guy named John Murray, and he was talking about back in the day when he started out, how they'd have hotel rooms, but they'd share them, and they'd
Mm-hmm.
have like two or three guys. And he said back in the day, Skeet Reese used to sleep at his truck. He was one of those guys in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't have a lot of extra money or nothing. He literally slept in his truck. And then John Murray talked about how eventually they're like, do you just come crash in the room, and however many years later, now they're traveling buddies. Now they're always roommates. But yeah, I mean, a guy like Skeet Reese, very successful, but he started out sleeping in his truck.
A lot of people have. I mean, that was just you wanted to be out there fishing and be successful. That's what it took.
Hmm.
I don't think I'd like to bunk with like 4 or 5 people, but you get into some of them hotel rooms and it smells like ass and cigarettes
Oh
everywhere.
yeah. Yeah, of
we
course.
we remember those road trips.
Yeah. Right.
What was that one time in Idaho with the Tidger? There.
Yep.
Oh, I still remember that one. That was bad.
Yeah.
They had 18 people in there or something like that. Something like
Hmm.
bubblegum whiskey and ass.
Right.
So I see they haven't put today's. They haven't posted anything from today from Northwest Bass.
No, I just saw the first day,
Yeah.
which you probably saw that too. Looked
Yeah.
like I saw a couple 7-pounders caught.
Yeah. Big fish.
Looked like
Seven
two of
point
them.
two.
Hmm.
So that was all over at the. So I saw day one they had 22 pounds, for which that's not bad at all. Looked like a lot of people caught 5 fish too. Oh, hold on here. Let me look at that.
And by the way, this one I had seen earlier on Facebook this week that Northwest Bass was letting anybody fish in it this week.
Well, I was gonna say because there's 78 people in there.
Yeah, they decided to make it an open for this event.
Yep,
Yep.
78,
Hmm.
and everybody caught 5 fish except 78th. 78th place did not catch. Wow, that's nuts.
Yep.
Uh oh. Down in 76th, Jaron Erlocker.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
they finished 76th. Well, that was Friday or Saturday.
Yeah. Yeah. Someday it would be nice to fish one of those.
That'd be fun, huh?
Hmm.
Ooh, these guys, they got 5 fish, but they had a total weight of 10 pounds.
Ooh. Dinkfest.
Yeah. Oh, 77. They got five. They got 5 fish. They had a total of 8.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's.
That's a bunch of 12 inchers.
Yeah. There's small ones. So yeah, it'd be nice to know what went on there. with that. So yeah, I did get out fishing today.
Yeah.
I took off out there, and even though you didn't get a chance to go fishing this weekend, uh, and how much that probably sucked for you, believe me, my day sucked worse today fishing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so first off, to start out my day, I pull my rods out of my rod locker, and there's one big ball of shit mess. Some way, somehow, on one of my spinning reels, the lever got switched to the reverse, so it was just unspooling inside there
Oh geez.
and unspooled around everything. I didn't know what the frick I was cutting. It was like
Wow.
I gotta start cutting this line. And
No picture?
I didn't take a picture of it. No, I didn't take a picture of that. So I finally get that one figured out because I had two spinning two spinning setups and three bait casters, and so I finally get the spinners out of there, dig all that shit out. I don't know if I'm cutting the line from that one or if I'm cutting the line from the other one. And then I dig out my bait casters. So I grab my bait caster and I go to throw it just because I always like throwing them at first thing just to throw them out, reel them back in real quick. And here, take a look at the screen here.
Happened, right?
What's that?
You did it to yourself, right? Because I remember a couple weeks back, you're like, I just love the Skeet Reese rod. I don't know what it is, but it's my favorite rod. You did it. You cursed it. Oh my goodness.
I have no idea how the frick that happened.
Wow.
But yeah, it was a sad day. I lost Mrs. Doubtfire.
Right. Oh my
I
goodness.
couldn't believe it. I went to cast it, and it was just I casted it, and it went. I was like, "What the frick was that?" As I see this ball of shit flying through the air, I'm like, "Huh." My rod's a little bit smaller.
Wow. You
Yeah,
got the sawed off.
I have no idea how it broke or when it broke or why it broke. Because I
Ooh.
used it on Friday. Friday it worked fine. Put it away and first cast just to throw it out there. And
Oh, you went on Friday?
I did go on Friday. Yeah, I took Leanne out. We went out to Two Rivers.
Yeah, how'd that
And,
go?
well, let me tell you something. There's people out there swimming already.
Yeah.
Um, there was about 6 or 7 thousand people out there. Uh, Anybody and everybody were out there. It was very busy. A lot of tweakers, a lot of meth heads. There's always that one guy. Oh, I've been catching 8-pounders all day long right here from this bank. I had
Wow.
one tweaker give me the history on bass fishing. That bass are not native to Washington, and President Roosevelt brought them over here, and
Mm-hmm.
so that was fun. But caught one. I caught one little one. I caught him on a chartreuse spinner. It was probably, I don't know, 15, 16 inches.
Yeah.
But I told Leanne I was throwing it. I was like, you got to throw that spinner. You will catch something on that spinner. I guarantee you we will catch something on that spinner. So she's pissing around. A couple kayaks got put down. And I'm like, we need to get out to this point Cause and sure shit, these kayaks come burning by us, and they headed out towards the river, right where I was heading to. I'm like, oh, of course, you know. So there's a guy and a lady and a kid. That damn kid was screaming the whole way there. Um, but they went right out to that one little point out there where I
Oh,
wanted to go.
they were fishing.
Yeah, they were fishing. Everybody was
Oh,
fishing.
jeez.
Everybody was fishing.
I mean, the kayaks were
Oh
fishing.
yeah. Oh
Wow.
yeah. Then a couple kids came by. They were in some smaller kayaks, kind of like your Spitfire.
Right.
And I think the one kid had like I think you told me that it's all in the paddle. The paddle, it makes your day go good or bad when you're in a kayak. This little fat bastard come running by me. He's like, my arms are on fire. I'm like, well, dude, you need a bigger paddle. I don't think you got it right, but yeah, everybody was out there fishing. And then, of course, we got that call, so we had to leave. But I never made it out back to see how good that
Yeah.
was. But yeah, we went out there. And like I said, the one thing I hate about Two Rivers, well, besides that, I didn't think that on a Friday night there'd be that many people there, but there was a lot of people there.
Weather's starting to turn.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of people there. I hate trying to get over those rocks.
Yeah.
But the water was very, very high, too. The water was very high.
Oh, the water's still high.
Oh, yeah.
When I was coming, we had to run a Costco today. I was coming back, heading towards the Road 100 bridge.
Mm-hmm.
You go across the Yakima there, and I looked as we rolled across there because I wasn't driving. I looked back to the right. And dude, there was a bunch of boats out there that you could see from going across that Yakima River Bridge. I saw 2 kayaks, about 3 or 4 boats. And then when we went across the Road 100 bridge, I looked down to the point, the point where everybody walks out to.
Mm-hmm.
You know how they got those trees down there? The water is still up to those trees along the bank. And when you go out there any other time in the summer, those trees aren't nowhere close to the water.
Right. Oh, yeah, no, they're still dumping a shitload of water out.
Well, you could just see when you roll across the Blue Bridge, too, that water's not as clear yet either as it usually is.
It was soup today when we took the big boat out. It was soupy.
Yep.
It was
Yep.
muddy. It was really muddy.
Mm-hmm.
And there was still a bunch of crap floating in the water. It wasn't that bad. I thought it would be worse, but I thought I'd be dodging landmines everywhere, but it wasn't that bad. But yeah, water temp out on the river was 56.
Right.
Way cold. Now, I did go out fishing today on the river. I went to, told you I went out to Hover. And I went to go fish the Hover Pond. If you get on Google, it's pretty far up there. But you actually turn on Hover Road.
I'm going to look at it right now.
Everybody get your Google out. We're gonna tell you a secret spot.
Yeah. Secret spot.
Bring plenty.
You need a secret.
Bring plenty of rods. Because this is
You need
a rod eater.
A secret spot alert sound.
Right.
Beep 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 beep.
So anyhow, that's where everybody goes to go motorcycle riding at and stuff. And we used to hang out there when in high school. We'd go out there every once in a while and have bonfires and throw beer bottles and crap like that. But
Well, I see a pond. I don't know if that's the one you're talking about. Actually, I see a couple ponds.
let's see here. Open up. No maps. Okay, you see where Hover Road is?
Uh,
Follow Mills follow Mills Road all the way out. Well, not all the way out, but past where it splits to Toothaker. All right, if I watch this, I'm gonna bring it up for everybody to see. Secret spot.
Yeah,
So if
that's
you,
where I thought you were looking at.
yeah, if you go down Hoover Road, so Saturday I went out there and I was gonna fish this part on this side of the river.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you get there and I'm like, oh shit, I can put it right there. Well, the water's very low, and you can see where everybody's out there riding their four wheelers and everything else. But the road to get down there is a very steep road. Like I'd have to lock it in four-wheel drive, and I don't think my trailer would make it over the crest. So I didn't fish that because I didn't feel like dragging my boat down into there. Which I don't know how deep it is. So that's why I was like, man, I don't even think it'd be worth to even try it. Maybe along the dike or something, might be
Mm-hmm.
good. So then what I did is I drove all the way back out to Toothaker and came across the railroad tracks. So you used to be able to cross the
Yeah.
railroad tracks at Hoover Road, but they fixed that. So then I went to the riverside and I fished all that.
Right.
It sucked. So it was. I think I got a picture of my pickup truck, and I was right here. See where the thing is? I was right
Mm-hmm.
there. I was so far out there with my pickup truck. But the water was, and I was like in a foot and a half of water.
Hmm.
So I worked all this area over here. It was like 1 foot, nothing. Worked that, nothing. It was all like 1 or 2 foot. It was a little bit deeper along the dike, but not much. Through chatterbait, through spinners, through there. So then I came out here, and then I went out to the river. And I was trying to fish this ledge,
Mm-hmm.
and I wasn't getting nothing out there. But I was fishing right where the break is going down. You would think by looking at it, you're like, oh shit, that's some good. You would think there'd be good
Mm-hmm.
fishing in there. But you know what? I never came across this part. For some reason, that looks deeper.
Hmm.
But there's a good spot to put in right there. You could put in right there, and shit, dude, really, you could follow that and probably work this whole area on a kayak.
Yeah.
So there you go, everybody. There's our top tip of the
How
day.
far? Hey, how far down? How far down before you hit those ponds? If you keep going south along there.
Way down there.
Okay, yeah, that's too far.
Because this is the pond that This was
Mm-hmm.
the pond I was going to go to, and this is the one that I probably fished 20 years ago. And it's just a little shit pond at the end. I know there's catfish in there.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't even know if you could get to there anymore. Because, see, you used to be
Yeah.
able to... Let's see, where's the road at? I mean, I know that's Ayers Road, but...
Well, it's a shame that you can't fish those ponds that are even a little further south that actually are posted on the WDFW website.
You could fish them. You just
Well,
can't
that
get to them.
says, yeah, that's the thing.
You cannot get to them. Now, if you had a horse, you probably could, but you're definitely not getting to this one unless you got like a parachute on.
And
Because
that one probably has 10 pounders in it
oh, if not bigger.
because they've probably been living there forever and you can't fish them. If you get somebody to ferry you down there in a big boat, a couple guys, and
I think
take your shit up over the
railroad.
dike.
I think the railroad people fish that shit all the time. I think they park those freaking. Is that where Where's the double tracks at? Oh, maybe not. Because I know a train goes by there about every 15 minutes, but can't tell if that's
Yeah, if you could get down there from the riverside and on a boat and then drag your shit up over those tracks, probably have a stellar day on that pond.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's some.
Yeah, all those ponds, all three of those things.
Shit, what
They're
we
they're they're still posted on the WDFW for Benton County, but it does say in the print if you read that there's no legal access at this time.
right. Well, I could always anchor off right here, and we could just walk over and fish the bank.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be a fun time.
That's a just gotta yeah, like I said, yeah, just anchor off like right here.
Hey, here's what we do.
Swim over.
Here's what we do. We take your big boat down there and anchor it off, and I bring the Spitfire. We tie that shit on the back of your fucking boat. You carry that little bitch across there. Yeah. Perfect reason why I haven't got rid of that thing yet.
Well, we need to go over here too and hit this area.
Yeah, I've been told about fishing that area, but here's the problem. So I actually went and drove down there. And hold on, zoom in a little bit. So you see, okay, stop. See where you turn off?
Mm-hmm.
Where those, yeah, okay. So you turn off there, you drive past those, whatever that is, and there's that little yacht club over there.
Right.
It's the Walla Walla Yacht Club. Yeah, there's big signs right there by the trees in that little house. Yeah, you pretty much can't go in there unless you're a member.
Whoa.
Yeah, I went to check it out.
Looks like we
Because
could
I've been
park
told.
right here and motor our ass around there and go in there and fish the docks.
Yeah, and zoom out a little bit. Also, over here by those tanks.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well, yeah, because that's where the grains is, so that's where the barge parks at, so that's probably 20 foot deep right there. Easy.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you could fish that whole thing right there.
Well, the day I went down there that I drove to scout it out, there was a bunch of people fishing off the bank down there.
Yeah, it could have been steelhead or salmon or something.
Yeah. I would hazard a guess from looking at the people, they were fishing for whatever bites.
Bobber fishers?
Yeah.
Now, I did go fishing with a buddy one time, and we went back in here, right here, and because we're out steelhead fishing, and then decided to try and he caught like a 6-pound largemouth back in here.
Hmm.
Yeah.
We need a Triton. We need a Triton.
We need to try.
Hey, whoa! While you're there, zoom in on those ponds I was telling you about. To the left a little bit. To the left. Right there. Yep. All those ponds. That's what Mike and them were talking about. You could drive right down there and park and... Yeah, look at all those. Yep. Those are the ponds I was telling you about.
Yeah. See, I didn't know you could get down there because I thought that's where the electrical thing is, but I guess the electrical thing's up here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can drive right down to them. There's parking areas.
Look at all that down shit right there.
Yep.
That even goes out to the river.
Right.
Yeah, I might have to get an Oregon license.
Yeah. Yeah, look at all that cover in there. And one of them to the left is even a pretty good size one. The one to the left of the frog pond.
Right. Social Security pond. Oh, well, we need to hit. You know what sucks, dude, right now? If anybody does watch it, I mean, hell, we don't, it's not like we got 16,000 people watching this. But there's probably the one person going, mother bitches, that's where I go all the damn time. Shut up.
Yeah.
No, you know where we need to go.
We need to go down to Crow Butte.
Well, yeah, Crow Butte too, but...
Oh, hey, while we're at it, so see there's some to the right. of Crow Butte. There's like some little backwaters over there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Look
Yeah,
at
see
that
that
right
guy I
off the
was talking
highway.
to in Yakima. He was talking about the Crow Butte area and stuff like that. But what he was saying, like this right here, this area right here,
Mhm.
he says very very rocky. I mean like boulders, and there's some good fishing right in there. I forget the name he called it.
Look at the huh. Is that a river that comes into there? Alder Creek.
Yeah, you get that
Huh.
right there. Yeah.
Yeah, but go back up. Go back up towards Crow Butte to the right by like Whitcomb or by Highway 14.
Mm-hmm.
Look at all those. Look at there's a bunch of ponds around there. Keep going to the right. Whoa! Now zoom in. Look at there's 1, 2, 3, 4 ponds right there. There's one, and then if you go to the right, there's 2 more. There's one on each side of the highway.
Right.
There's a road, so there's access. There's another one further to the right.
Hmm.
And there's another one to the right. Yep, a bigger one. Yep. Yep. Places like that.
Yeah, there's plenty of shit out there. That's for sure.
Places like that for our small craft.
I know one of
Until
these
we get
days.
that Triton.
Lumacraft, right?
Yeah. Apparently, I'm guessing as far as glitter rockets go, the Tritons must be the cheaper model. That must be like the F-150 of pickups.
I think so.
Because I noticed in the magazine, what are the Skeeters? What do we always see the Skeeter at? It was like 60 something, 65.
Right.
Tritons are like in the 50s, low
Some.
50s, 20 footer.
Yeah, some of them get up there, but I tell you what, man, I have never seen more beautiful boat than that yellow one I sent you.
Oh yeah, that was a legend too,
That
right?
was a legend. Matter of fact, I'm bringing
Yeah,
it
that's
up right
it.
here.
Jacob Wheeler. So Jacob Wheeler was on. I don't remember if it's on Ike Live or somewhere. He was getting interviewed, and somebody asked him about the legend boat because I think he just switched to legend this year, maybe this year or last year, and he was talking about how good the ride was on it. He goes, I won't even say nothing. He goes, just ask anyone that's marshaled for me this year. Best boat they ever rode in.
Really?
Hmm.
I've actually seen a couple of them for sale. So like this one's a 2013 for 45,000, and I saw another 2013. It was like a red and black one for about the same price, and
Hmm.
yeah. No, that yellow boat, man, that yellow and black, that color combination is just
Hmm.
tits.
Yep.
That is pretty badass. And I think the console, you can remove the passenger console. It's easy removal. So you can either make
Yeah.
your riding mate happy or unhappy, depending on the weather.
Right.
Yeah, that was a beautiful boat. Freaking gorgeous boat. Absolutely gorgeous. Well, someday. We just need to win the lotto.
Right.
We just win the
Did
lotto.
you did you watch any of the races
I
or any of
did.
the did you watch IndyCar qualifying?
I did not watch IndyCar qualifying. I saw that dude ate some shit, though.
Yeah. I was watching that
It,
yesterday.
it made me
Oh.
cringe.
Yeah, that was bad.
Yeah, it messed him up pretty good, too. I mean, he's okay, but it messed him up pretty good.
Yeah, so there's a funny story behind that. So we're sitting there this morning and I turned on today's qualifying.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sitting there with Maria. We're sitting at the table eating, and it comes on there, and I'm like, oh, I wonder if they're gonna say something about what happened to old boy. And sure enough, they come on there. They're like, oh yeah, he's all right. He had to have some hip surgeries or something. Meanwhile, if you read the story about it, shattered pelvis,
Oh,
all
yeah.
this. I mean, it's just bad, right? And so Maria's like, I think what he meant to say is he's alive. He's not all right, but he's alive.
That's the only thing you can say right there is
Yeah, he's not all right. He's not okay. He's alive, but he's not okay.
yeah, it's trying to find it right now. I don't even know if they're even going to have it up anywhere.
Then and then we can get to that in a minute, but then also the Northwest late models race this weekend, by the way,
They race this
up in
weekend?
Spokane.
Oh.
This past weekend up in Spokane. Yeah. Yeah, if you look them up on Facebook, they have the results posted from that race. Couple interesting notes that I will bring up when we get to that.
Man, I'm trying to find the video, but there's nothing really. Sebastian Bourdais. What I can't even pronounce that dude's name. I think it'd have to be on YouTube. Hell, everything's on YouTube. Yeah, there we
You
go.
would think.
There we go. Everything's on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I think it's just brutal.
Yeah, well, I was watching it when it was live, and I was like, what the? I actually had to pick up the remote, rewind that. Yeah, the angle's just, look at that.
Dude, I cringed every time. Ugh. Yep.
Yeah.
Ugh. See, you can see where somebody else backed into it earlier.
Yep. Yep.
But they
The
backed
sucker
in.
snapped on him. Yeah.
That's just. Ugh. Yeah. Fudge.
Yeah. Anyway, Scott Dixon got the pole today. He laid down a pretty good lap, or 4 laps, for the average. But interesting was what's the guy's name from Formula One? Alonso.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
He actually qualified fifth, I believe.
Really?
I believe he's fifth. I believe he's starting middle row too. Yeah, he actually was doing pretty good. Yep. Was doing pretty good.
Who's he driving for?
Andretti.
Oh.
Yep. Yep, he's driving for Andretti.
They put out 5 cars. Or try to
Yeah, I'm
qualify
not sure
5.
how many. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So Chip Ganassi owns the Dixon car that got on the pole.
Yeah, they're having a good season. Ganassi across the board.
Right.
Pretty nice. What'd you think of the All-Star race?
I thought it was pretty good. I did chuckle when Boyer's team pulled the hodgepodge tire setup. I was like, actually, I'll tell you, when that happened, I thought, because you and I've talked about this before, I thought, you know who would have done that is Chad Knaus. Like, that's, like, I can't believe somebody out Knaus.
Right?
I mean, he didn't get the result that Jimmy got, but that's totally something that Knaus would have done.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't say I can't.
Yeah,
That's what that was.
I wasn't too impressed with the tire combination.
Yeah, well, Dale Jr. did a Periscope about it on whatever day it was. I guess it would have been Friday when they were practicing and stuff. And he said that he didn't like the tires because when they put those tires on, it changed the balance of the car.
Oh, really?
Yeah, to him, in his mind, it changed the balance of the car. So it wasn't a matter of, we'll put these tires on it, you'll go faster for a few laps. he kind of talked like it made his car shit because his balance was set up for the other tires. So
Sounds good in theory.
yeah,
I really didn't see anything special. Like people had an advantage on it. I think after a couple laps, it was the same. I mean, you
yep,
might have went faster the first couple laps, but after that,
hmm
I didn't see nothing.
yeah, and I don't think, and I also don't think, I don't think the rules were set up where they had to run them. They could have just stayed on the yellow ones all night if they wanted.
If they wanted to, yeah.
I don't think they had to.
Well, I think everybody was thinking that they'd get that little burst of speed. But then that bullshit at the end where they're like, well, if you put on the greens, you got to start behind
Yeah, you got to
everybody with the
start
yellow. What
behind them.
the frick is that,
Hmm
really?
Yep.
That's stupid.
See, now that right there is, you're right. That's kind of crap
Hmm.
because they should, that should be like that's your reward for saving that set.
Exactly.
You want to put them on at the end, you put them on at the end. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't care for it too much.
Yeah, it might go the way of the back in the years when they tried to run Hoosier and Goodyear. That didn't last very long.
No, because people were getting hurt.
Right.
I mean, really, it was a death fest almost. I mean, yeah, I remember some of those battles and stuff like that. Because it's not like when Formula One was running different manufacturers. Because you could run Michelin, um, Firestone,
Mhm.
and what was the other one? Potenza or something like Bridgestone, something. But you know, they were like, oh, he won because he was on the Michelins or he was on the Bridgestones, I was on the Firestones or whatever. And in NASCAR, when you had the Hoosier and Goodyear thing, it was like he died because he almost freaking died because he was running those piece of shit Hoosiers, and you know they were just trying different compounds and trying them out on the people, and they weren't having good success.
I just sent a picture to your Skiff and Bass page. If you can, I don't know if you can pull that picture up and
Something just came up.
share it.
I don't know, you used Messenger, man, dude. Who the frick uses Messenger?
Well, it just gave me the option to send it.
Good God,
So,
man, that's so 2014.
uh-huh.
Oh, what the hell? Come up. It won't even come up. Well, you're just going to have to tell me on that because I can't even bring it up to see it. And I don't even think I got Messenger on my PC.
I can share it on your timeline. Then
Let's
it'll
see
come up.
here.
You want me to
Messenger.
share it on Skiff and
Ah,
Bass, or do you?
there's a way to do it. Unofficial results. I got to squint, so everybody, I'm squinting now. Old man got it done again, huh?
Yeah. So here's the interesting thing. Okay. So first off, only 15 cars.
Right.
No Gary Lewis, of course. I don't even see Shane Mitchell. I don't see either of the Riddles. I don't know what was going on somewhere else, but you look on that list. I mean, you got Braden Havens. I'm still not sold on that kid. Whatever. Garrett Evans.
Right.
That's like the biggest name on that paper, and go figure he won. Well, here's the interesting part of the whole thing. So, as it relates to people that we know, look at where Chance and BJ's protege, I will call her, finished
Yeah.
10th. And look who finished third.
And a lap down.
And
Well,
look who
yeah.
finished third. And oh, by the way, that girl, I'm going to say it in the Northwest, that's the real deal right there if you want to talk
I
female in a
agree.
car.
I agree.
That's the one. It ain't Molly Hellmuth.
No.
It ain't Brooke Schimmel. It's that one right there.
Right. I
She's the
agree.
one getting it done.
Yeah, and she's been getting it done for the last.
Yes. And I read a lot of stuff, and I've seen articles about, oh, Brooke Schimmel got a deal back east. Oh, is she gonna run blah 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 blah. You know what? Brittany Zamora is wearing that ass out.
Yeah. And look at that,
I
man.
mean,
She
let's
was.
let's call it like it is. I believe she finished third, or you know what? She finished. I think it was fourth. She finished fourth in Wenatchee.
And she was only a second off. So she was right
Yeah,
there. I mean, who knows if it
and
was a
she,
restart or not? Who knows? But
well, she finished fourth in Wenatchee, and I thought I read that she had to come from the back more than once in that race in Wenatchee, the previous race.
yeah, no, she is. She's gonna be pretty good. Hopefully, they got the money to promote her, get her up there.
Yeah,
That's the problem because you got all the, Brooke Schimmel. Come on, she's garbage, but she has money. So some way, somehow,
something,
she's gotten somebody's ear and look like a race.
something.
Her dad's doing
Well,
it or something.
something, right? Because it was, I saw a link that was posted from Custom Fab about, oh, she got signed some deal back east with, she's gonna go run something. You know what? I think Brittany Zamora is the one needs to be sent back east,
You need to get,
based on what I'm
you need to
seeing.
get up on that wheel and drive.
That's right.
You need to drive.
Yes.
What the hell's Cameron McKinney?
So,
Never heard of
so
him.
if you, Cameron McKeon, if you look at on Brittany Zamora's page, so I'm reading back from April 30th Wenatchee race, she got fourth place, and she had to come from the back twice in that race.
Really?
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, they need to start pounding the streets and getting some money behind her. Cause yeah, she can drive. I mean, that's been known since. What? She put him in a legend. She worked
Yeah,
that
well,
pretty good.
she started in go-karts. She started out there at the Horn Rapids because her dad Mike, I think, was the, I don't know if he's just a board member or president or something, but anyway, he used to, if he still does, help run that organization out there. But yeah, she started out racing those karts out there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'd have to think she's getting noticed and she's getting the results.
Well, yeah, cause she's not finishing eighth out of a 20-car field, 2 laps down because everybody
Hmm.
wrecked.
Right?
She's up there and everybody's shit.
Right?
Yeah, that's pretty nuts. But yeah, 15 cars. That just seems really, really down. I mean, there's no, unless there was no money in it. I don't know. But why would Garrett Evans show up there and none of the other big guys show up there?
Yeah, well, unless it's just a support in the series kind of thing. But if you noticed, I don't know if you look at Chance and BJ's page very often, but they posted on Custom Fab, they posted a story on May 9th. It was called To Those in the Racing Community, Northwest Racing Community, West Coast Late Model Series from Our Point of View. And then it was this big long post that went into how, it's dying off and they can't get cars out. And, we've we've been down that road.
Mm-hmm.
It's just outpriced everybody.
Oh yeah, to make that jump from to a super late model is nuts.
Yeah, in their post, in one section of the post, it says Circle Track Racing in our region is as down in car counts and fan counts as it has ever been. Some of this could be attributed to economy. Some of this could be attributed to rising cost of back gate fees, front gate prices, struggle for tracks to balance between making it affordable and making money. Yeah. With fewer cars in the pits, fewer people in the stands. Fewer people in the stands means charging those few people in the stands an absurd amount of money so you can cover the purse. Never-ending cycle.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's because they, besides the little tracks dying off, they're killing the little, the feeder classes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you gotta have the mini stocks, you gotta have the Hornets, you gotta have the quote unquote bomber class, right? You gotta have
Yep.
those because that's your feeder class. That's what gets
Yep.
people into the bigger cars and the faster cars. You know, you gotta have that. That's your bread and butter right there is those feeder classes.
Right.
But as you and I both found out in our ever short racing career, that they try to promote they try to promote the big class, right? But yet they shit on the little class, and then you start losing the little
Mm-hmm.
class, and no, who's going to race? You gotta support that little class. You got to put them on a shelf to say, hey, we're going to give you so many laps, and 40 laps, and you're pretty much the show because you got 20 cars out here, where the late models only got 10.
Mm-hmm.
You got to make those guys happy and want to race because then they'll get the more of the bug and say, you know what, I am going to buy me a late model.
Yeah. Well, and like we always said, it was, if you had 12, like you said, 12 late models, but you had 30 mini stocks, well, for every car out in those pits is going to bring in X amount of people to the stands. So that was the thing is that,
Four to
yeah, I
one.
understand. I understand the late models are the show, but you should be treating the other guys like gold because guess what? They're the ones bringing all them people up
Yep.
in the stands.
For every one car in a mini stock, you can figure four people showed up in the stands,
Yep.
minimum,
Mhm.
and that's the ones that don't drink. But yeah, that
And by
that's that, that that's what fills that's what puts asses in the seats right there.
Yep. Yep.
And that's what I'm saying. You you gotta get those feeder classes and get them running strong. But it was always late models this, late models that, late models this.
Yep. Yep. And by the way, I do see on Facebook that Northwest Bass looks like they posted the final results.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Same two dudes won.
Uh, David Crom and Aaron
Oh,
Etchern
they were in third yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Who was
well,
leading?
Mike Wolski and Ronald Hobbs. They were in third by a pound.
Oh, they finished sixth.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, okay, so here's what happened. So yeah, Mike Wolski, they were at 22.9 after day one, and they only got 16.6 on day two.
Ooh.
But David Crom and Aaron Etcherkamp, they were at 21.96 on day one, but today they hit 22.94.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Bringing the thunder.
80 boats, looks like.
Yeah, no, that's nuts. All on potholes. Which is potholes pretty big, but you get 80 freaking glitters out there.
Yeah.
Well, actually, since it was open, there was probably a shitload of walleye boats. There was probably some John boats. You
Right.
probably had a smorgasbord of fishermen out there.
80 teams fished. Total fish weighed was 736, and 725 were released. So a
Oh.
few didn't make it.
The guy that had his freaking ice chest with the freaking pump in there trying to freaking make a live well.
Big fish must have been caught today. 8.02 pounds. That's a big one.
That is a big one. We got to go there.
I was trying to look. I need to look back and see where did that guy we went to the seminar,
Yeah.
Les Whitley Jr. Let's see where he finished at. He was in the. There he goes. He finished in 53rd.
Man, that dude really doesn't do very good, does he? And he's sponsored by what? Strike King? Or do you think he just wears the gear?
Griggs. I think he's sponsored by Griggs. And you notice if you go to Griggs, they sell a lot of Strike King stuff now, so maybe there's an affiliation there or something. I don't know. Well, I think a lot of these guys too is it's just about being a salesman. They're just able to sell themselves.
Yeah.
I think that's a lot of it. I know it's like one time I was having a conversation with Jordan about the whole kayak thing, and I gotta finish in this tournament and get these sponsors and that. And I'm sitting there thinking, I really don't think Scotty Mounts gives a shit if you finished 5th or 10th in an Oregon kayak tournament. I really don't think they care. I don't really think that's going to change how many Scotty Mounts they sell. Now, I do think it can make a difference on how much you post on social media, your videos that you put out, stickers on your car, stickers on your boat. I think those kind of things matter a hell of a lot more than
Right.
because you finished 10th or 5th in a kayak tournament, especially at that low of a level. It's not like your difference at the national championship tournament.
Well, yeah, I definitely think that, and a lot of these big companies are seeing that where, you know, the quote unquote field staff or the pro staff, promotional staff, not pro staff. I wish everybody would stop using that damn word. That's really pisses me off. Oh, I'm pro staff. Fuck, you are, dude. You got 10% discount. You're
You got a
promotional.
pro deal.
Here,
You got a
look.
pro deal.
Where's my
Yeah.
camera at? Look, hey, pro staff. Woo. Yeah,
You got a
promotional
pro
staff.
deal.
I say good things about the company, and I get a free shirt and a hat.
Right.
Promotional staff. But yeah, no, I agree that a lot of these bigger companies are looking at that for social media wise to say, let's just take let's take Woo Tungsten, right?
Oh yeah, I see a lot of their stuff
Okay,
on there.
it's a freaking weight. Let's just call it what it is. It's a weight, and it's a tungsten weight, and it makes a clinking noise. Okay, but here's the thing. It's still a freaking weight, but everybody, they went through. It was probably a month ago on social media, and so we are taking applications for pro staff. So that's why you saw this big old influx on social media in the last month about Woo Tungsten, right? Everybody, I'm
Oh yeah, I
Woo
saw they
Tungsten
even
pro
got
staff,
Chad Hoover. Yep, they got Chad Hoover too.
and he's a bigger name. He's gonna promote it pretty good.
Yep.
But you get a lot of the like us doing it and saying, hey, yeah, we're pro staff, Woo Tungsten, Woo Tungsten, Woo Tungsten. Well, it's a weight. It's nothing special. It's a weight, and I know some people are saying, or I've been doing some reading on it. If you use the bead right, it makes that clinking noise, clink, clink.
Mm.
But still, it just kills me though when you see all that. I'm a pro staff at Woo Tungsten. Yeah, you just spent $80 for all those weights to show up, where it would have cost me $100. So
Right.
send me a free hat, and I'll be more than happy to say how much I enjoy your product. But until then, I just don't.
Right.
I wish people would just call it what it is, man. Promotional field, whatever. Because when I hear
Hmm.
pro staff, I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to go ask this guy a question. I'm going to learn from him. But not on that particular thing. But pro staff, right? He knows his shit. You see some of these dingleberries out there, and it's like, oh my god, dude, I know a little bit more than you do, and the reason why you did it is because you got an application in faster than somebody else. So you're not a
Yep.
pro staff. That's my soapbox.
I hate to jump subjects back, but I did forget to ask you one thing about the race. Plus I know we're getting close to the end here. Um, what about the Open? Danica Patrick and Trevor Bayne.
She straight freaking dumped his ass. I saw
When
that
they were
happening.
running together, at the beginning of that race, I'm like, in my head I was thinking, man, them two are like magnets, man. They're always around each other, and she freaking hates his ass. She's always calling him an idiot, and
Mm-hmm. Yep, she
he's
straight.
driving like an idiot. Yeah.
All I had in my head when when she assholed him was that song "Move, Bitch, Get Out the Way."
Way. It was funny too because they played the radio. You could hear like she was all wound up before she hit him too.
Oh, she wasn't going to lift.
Uh-uh.
She straight freaking just pucker donkey
Yeah.
punched him, and I
Yeah.
can't believe he saved it
Right.
because he wrecked down that whole front stretch.
Yeah.
He just didn't know it, but
He just didn't hit anything.
and then Eric Jones, man, dude, that kid went for broke
Yeah, he did.
and didn't work out for him, but he.
Well, you know what his deal is. I still say it. People may not agree with me, but I still say it. His he got fucked.
He did. I agree.
He the timing was shit for him. Cuz by all rights, he probably should have been in that 19 car.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, the timing didn't work out, so he got shipped off to Farmlandville out at, Colorado. But so anyways, so I think anytime he has a battle with Suarez, dude, it's gonna be on. It's gonna
Yep.
be on with those two. And
Yep.
by the way, I believe they're tied right now in the points too.
Really?
Yep. Yep. So I said it before. I guarantee his ass is burning. I mean, Furniture Row obviously it's a good team. Truex does really well in that car,
Right.
better than anybody else ever did in it. But it's not the same as Joe Gibbs.
No. 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 Not even close. Yeah. To be sitting in the 77 when he should be in all rights in that 19 or that 20 car, which we both agree he will probably be in that 20 car in the next year.
Yeah. I think Kenseth could be next to go.
Mm-hmm.
You know who else I was thinking about this the other night, just on things that you've said recently when I was watching the interviews at the end. You could tell who else senses that it's coming, and he's fighting it is McMurray, because he is driving. You got to admit, he is driving like he knows that he's under the microscope right now.
I have a feeling Ganassi came out and said, "Look, son,
Yeah,
I love you. You are the nicest guy, and you get up there every once in a while, but being content with 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th is just not getting it done anymore. So we got some different options coming up." And he's like, "Oh yeah, no more Mr. Nice Guy," and he's just moving people. He's wrecking. McMurray definitely is on his shit.
did you hear one of the names that was mentioned to possibly fill into the 43 car? I know you had to cringe when you heard it.
Okay, so
I know you
okay.
had to cringe.
I'll get into it this way. I was listening to Kenny Wallace talk on his radio show. I love Kenny Wallace. And he said it just like this. The 43 replacement driver depends on if Richard Petty has the decision, the final say on who gets in his car. If Richard Petty does, then guaranteed it'll be Greg Biffle. Which first
I
person that
never
came to
even
my
thought
mind.
about that.
That was the first person that came to my mind, is Greg Biffle. And he goes, but here's the problem. If Ford has a say in it, then you better well guarantee it's going to be Bubba Wallace.
Yeah, and I don't get that.
And I'm like, are you shitting me? This guy is the
I don't
biggest
get
piece
that.
of shit out there.
Yep.
I mean, he could race. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, but he is not. He's not. He's another. David Stremme or all those other yahoos that are in there right now. JJ Yelly and Corey LaJoy. He's just gonna be a back marker.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's just garbage. He's garbage. Never liked him when he wrecked me, and I don't like him now.
Right. Right.
But yeah, that's who they were thinking of, and I was actually surprised to see Regan Smith in there for the Open.
Yeah, and I think he didn't. I don't know. I don't think he did a lot for his own cause to
No,
stay in that car.
no, and I think like Kenny Wallace said, if it all depends on who has the final say, because money will put the person in the car, plain and simple. As if Richard Petty has his way, he's going to put Greg Biffle in that car because he's a veteran, he knows what he's doing, he's a Ford guy, and he could get it done. I still think Biffle could still wheel a car. You take
Oh yeah,
freaking uh, Nutsack out of that freaking number 17 and put Biffle in that car, he is going to do some damage in that car. But right now, because that's another question too. Everybody was asking last week, well, is Roush back? Is Roush back? That was the big thing after Nutsack won that race. I can't even think of his name. Why can't I even think of his name?
Stenhouse Jr.
Stenhouse Jr. Danica's whippy boy. Okay, so they dropped from a 4-team to a 2-team. So all these resources went into the 17 and that 6 car now. All the resources, all the management, all the good parts, everything. So Biffle leaves, and now, Stenhouse is doing good. Even Trevor Bayne is up in the mix. It's all equipment. You and I both know it's equipment that gets it done. I think the car racer is only probably about 30% of it now. But guarantee you take Stenhouse out of that car and you put freaking Biffle in that car, he could wheel a car. He will be up in the mix. I still
Right.
think he still can. I don't think he lost his touch. I think that he just lost the equipment.
Right.
Put him in a car. But yeah, so it was really interesting. I do like listening to Kenny Wallace because he's funnier than hell, and he says it like it is. Yeah, that's a good show right there. It's Kenny Wallace.
That's on XM.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm looking at J-Ski real quick, just scrolling through the articles to see if there was any word yet on the whole 43 car. Of course, there's nothing new. But one of the articles I see says Fox, quote, drivers only broadcast for Xfinity race at Pocono. Race features Harvick will be the play-by-play, Logano and Boyer with analysis. So that's your booth. Harvick, Logano, and Boyer. You know that's going to be a riot. That's the booth. And then Blaney, Eric Jones, and Stenhouse Jr. on pit road. And Danica Patrick and Hamlin hosting from the Hollywood Hotel.
Oh, shit.
It's going to be all drivers.
Would be better if they would have Logano and Kurt Busch in their booth.
Yeah.
Well, Harvick and Logano, I didn't think got along very good, did they?
I think they've gotten past that. That was long ago.
They got past
But
that.
Harvick and Boyer would be hilarious,
Oh, yeah.
I think.
Boyer's just a nutcase.
Yeah. Boyer would be a cool dude to hang out with.
I think Boyer a lot of times definitely speaks before he thinks.
Mm-hmm.
I love that dude, man. Yeah, he's definitely pretty good.
Well, you had to know also, speaking of the All-Star race, you had to know it was going to be Chase Elliott.
Oh,
because I believe that, like, people have always talked, well, who's going to replace Junior Nation? Who's going to? I think it's obvious it's going to be Chase Elliott. It's going to be the next Junior. He's going to be the next popular driver. But I really think Blaney, man. I like that kid.
Blaney's a badass.
Yes.
Out of all the races, what do we have had? 9 races now? 10 races?
Right.
No, 11. Something like that. Have you not seen that 21 car up front?
Right.
That kid.
Yeah, and imagine if Blaney was in a Hendrick car or a Gibbs car.
Oh, hey, don't think that those boys ain't looking at that, going, man, hey, Mr. Woods, what do you got for his contract? Yeah, I guarantee you they're looking at that.
Or would Penske ever consider going to a 3-car team? I mean, now they're affiliated, right. So the 21 team is basically a they're basically attached with Penske, but that's not the same as being in the Penske house. You know, the
No.
same way that Truex is attached to Gibbs, but that's not the same as being in the Gibbs house.
Right. Right.
I
They
wonder if
share
Penske.
information, but they don't give all the information.
Yeah, man, could you imagine? You know, and then of course they still haven't announced who's going to replace Junior yet.
Man,
There's a lot of people that think Alex Bowman. There's a lot of people that think that kid in the Xfinity series. Oh crap, I can't think of his name right now. He runs the Junior Motorsports cars.
I think it would be a travesty if they didn't put Alex Bowman in that car. Because what he did when he filled in for Earnhardt as it was, he had that car pretty good.
The one that they mention here, let me find it real quick. It's gonna be William Byron. He's supposed to be like this up and coming hot shot.
He is.
Yeah.
There's actually a lot of good talent out there. In the trucks and in the Infinity, there's some good talent.
Mm-hmm.
And you and I both know this, that these kids that are coming up, they don't give a shit. They've always had a second car sitting in their hauler. They don't know what it's like to take care of your car. They're going to check or record all the time. So yeah, there is some actually good talent coming up.
I was watching the other day because I have my DVR set to record, like kind of like yours. It records anything NASCAR or whatever. And there was a K&N race or something. And during the K&N race, matter of fact, the one they showed last week, I guess it was from Spokane a couple weeks back. And they were showing the last time that K&N raced in Spokane was like 2011. And they showed, I don't remember if this kid won or he finished up high, and you'll remember this kid. And I was like, yeah, whatever happened to that dude? He was supposed to be the next sliced bread. Dylan Kwasniewski or Newski, however you say that. Remember that name? Mm-hmm. Where'd he go?
He was the Rockstar kid, right?
Right. What happened to him? He was the thing, right? Then he's just gone. He vanished.
Really? Yeah,
like a tumbleweed in a ghost town.
I forgot all about him, but yeah, he was the flat brim wearing Rockstar.
Flat brim wearing, was signed a contract with Rockstar when he was like 15, and he was up and coming, and they had him. He was running K&N West, and they had him running some East, and then what? Poof, he's gone.
Oh, either he lost money. That's the only. He lost money. He didn't have the money to make the next step. Some way, somehow, he lost his. Maybe Rockstar backed out.
Yeah, maybe something. And here's another one for you. Speaking of, where'd they go? Where'd they go? This could be our segment. Where'd they go? Remember the dude that we went in Seattle and watched win? And I can't even think of his name now. And then he was running in the truck series real good. And he's gone.
Haley.
Yep, Cameron Haley. Where'd he go? He's not even in the truck series anymore. Where'd he go? Gone. They don't even talk about him anymore.
I could have swore I saw
Thor
him.
Sport.
I thought he was racing. Didn't he race the Daytona though? He raced Daytona. I think he raced Daytona in.
I'm gonna look it up.
I'm gonna look it up. He was in a Busch car. Oh, I'm sorry, Infinity, whatever. To us, we're so old, man. We say Winston and we say Busch, and we know what we're talking about. So
I still say Nationwide.
I have a sprint car. It was going to be probably about 6 years before I say Monster Cup Energy car. So it's still a Winston Cup.
I don't see Cameron Haley on the Nationwide. There, I did it again. See? I don't see him on the Xfinity results from Daytona.
I could have swore I heard him talk about him.
You look again. The last I remember him running was in the truck series and for Thor Sport. I want to say he was driving the 13 truck.
Wow, interesting. Well, I do know this too. What happened to the little dude? The number 98 guy. I forget his name.
Oh, yeah.
That badass driver.
Rico Abreu or whatever. Yep. And there's another one. What happened to him? Gone.
That dude could straight wheel a freaking car.
It. Gone.
Dude was this freaking big. He was this tall. Honestly, that
You
tall.
know,
And he
you
could
know
wheel
what
a
I
car.
think happens. You know what I think happens. And we've talked about this before too. Those guys get up there, they get their shot. Whether they do good or bad, they find out it don't freaking matter.
Yep.
What kind of checkbook did you bring with you?
Yep. You didn't bring a fast enough checkbook. That's probably true. But
Because yeah, that dude had phenomenal talent.
dude is insanely talented. I
Hmm.
mean, because he went straight from a dirt car to that truck, and that dude was always in the mix. Yeah, that dude could definitely wheel a car. And then what about that Josh Berry dude? He gone.
Yeah, and he was supposedly coming up through the junior.
Hmm.
Okay, so I just found an article on Cameron Haley from motorsport.com. Haley still looking for NASCAR ride for 2017.
He ain't got no money. The cabinet business was not doing well
Something.
because that's who sponsored him was his
Hmm.
parents' cabinet making business. So
Yeah, this article, he says some of his quotes in there. If I can't put something together, I'll probably go back home and work with the family business.
that sucks. He could wheel a car too.
Yeah. He last competed and he said he might, if the right opportunity comes along, he might compete in NASCAR Pinty Series in Canada if nothing develops down here stateside.
Mm.
Yep. So he was with Thor Sport. Yeah, now here's the thing. Let me pull this back up here. So let's go Truck Series results. Let's go Charlotte. Does it give me the... So 98 is a Thor Sport. And then I don't think there is a 13. I'm trying to remember which numbers are the Thor Sport trucks. Because what you do is you just find the driver, and then, oh yeah, they probably brought some money with them.
They had to have because he sucks.
Yeah.
I think I saw him on TV maybe twice, and he was towards the middle of the back of the pack.
Hmm.
Where that little dude was always up front.
Yeah, he was racing for them. That Riku Abreu, he was in a Thor Sport truck.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see who they got here. They got... Okay. Okay, here you go. Sorry. So Thor Sport, you got Matt Crafton.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, of course he's not going anywhere. I mean, he's got Menards, hasn't had them forever, and he's how many time champion in the Truck Series.
Right.
So he's kind of like the Frank Kimmel, like Frank Kimmel was to ARCA. He's the truck guy, right? Matt Crafton. And then you got this Grant Infinger dude. He's driving the 98 truck, and I believe that's the one that the little guy drove.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know much about Infinger, but I don't know. Maybe he's got some money attachment behind him, or somebody wrote a check. And then you got this Rhodes kid, Ben Rhodes. Now he's another up and coming dude, young guy. So maybe, I don't know his story. I'm gonna guess there's somebody writing a big fat check behind him. But here's the interesting one in Thor Sport. You ever heard of a company called Jegs?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Cody Coughlin.
Cody Coughlin.
Coughlin. I believe the Coughlin family is Jegs. Yep, pretty sure.
Well, bought him a ride.
Pretty sure.
Bought him a ride.
Yep. Well, you know, the one that stands out to me, the one that always stands out to me was, who was the guy years back at the Truck Series? And I remember this is when we first realized how the racing world worked. was the guy was the Truck Series champion, and the next year he was gone. He got replaced because they said they couldn't put sponsorship together. So even though he was the defending champion, because he didn't have money, he was out. I want to say it was when Musgrave went back down to run the trucks.
I vaguely remember that, but I know what you're saying with that. But I don't remember who it was. And you know what sucks with that too is that as soon as something like that happens, you're pretty much unsponsorable anyhow after that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm reading a bio on Cody Coughlin. It says Coughlin's family name is synonymous with success in drag racing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because I've always said that David Reagan was a hell of a driver, but he could never get sponsorship. You know, like
Right.
when he was running the 6 car for Roush, but that was back when Roush was actually garbage.
Well, I told you my experience when I went back east with Jade and we went to some of those race shops. I remember we went to Penske, Gibbs, Ganassi, uh, and of course Roush. Those are the 4 that I remember going to. And I remember when we went to Roush Racing, and that, of course, all these shops have these windows that you can look in and see all the cars out there and all the stuff going on.
Mm-hmm.
Roush's shop, dude, there was no rhyme or reason to it, man. That was just full of shit. There was cars stuffed in there. I mean, they weren't lined up or nothing. They were pointing different directions. Shit was just crammed in there.
Really?
And then I remember we went to Ganassi shop. Ganassi shop, man, that thing, it looked like it almost made you think like the place was too big for how many cars they had. The floor was spotless. You could see reflections of people in the floors walking around. I mean, everything was nice. Gibbs Racing was pretty nice. Penske was really nice. But yeah. And back then Roush was kind of successful, because I remember thinking, here's what I remember thinking. I remember looking at Roush's shop, and they were kind of successful back then. And then looking at Ganassi, and of course Ganassi wasn't doing crap back then. And I'm like, how the hell can Ganassi do so shitty? Roush does so good, and it just looks like a shit box. like I remember thinking that, like, how could this be?
Like going to Roush was like going to your great grandparents' house and just shit everywhere and
Right.
old man
Clutter, and yeah, exactly.
Well,
That's what I remember thinking.
that was one of the big things that they were talking about with Roush this year, is that they brought in some different management, and to say to go away from that 4-team to the 2-team,
Mm-hmm.
and then to get that attitude of, okay, this is our schedule that we're going to do, and this is how we're going to do it. And like you said, so I bet you if you go to their shop now, it'd be night and day difference from that a couple years ago when you were there, because they just talked about just the infrastructure. First, they started with the infrastructure of Roush to get back to the winning ways and to put the resources into the cars that they needed. Where before, Roush was trying to do 4 cars and just spread it to everybody.
Yep.
Like nobody had the best part of anything. They just had mediocre shit.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just kind of funny the way.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Sandwich bags on the floor, people just busting their ass.
Yep. That's what it was. That's what it was.
Shit. All right, man. Well, we've been going for like an hour 30.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's probably about that time.
Right,
I don't think we had any live watchers again.
Ain't nobody watching live. I don't know if it's just too late for them or we just haven't got the word out yet, but I mean, we're getting some people watching it. during the week.
Right.
Which you just need to get more people to watch it. But I don't know if people think that it's just going to be talking fishing all day long, or for an hour and a half, or what. See, this is my how can I put it? This is my brainchild of what the show is. It's called The Fishing Hole. And what do you do when you go out fishing with your buddy? Is you sit there and you bullshit. You know,
Yep.
you have a good time, you bullshit. You talk about different things, talk fishing, you talk sports, you talk everything. That's what this kind of is. It's just a smorgasbord of talking. Wait till football season. Hey, it's going to be on during football season.
Speaking of football, did you probably didn't see it, but this morning, and only because I heard about it on Mike and Mike last week, they had the Ryan Leaf story this morning on E60. That was train wreck, man.
You talk about like the life and time. So they did.
It was
a
E60, but it was an E60, but it was kind of like the 30 for 30 type of deal.
Right.
And I didn't know this, but on Thursday night, the 25th, they're doing the 90-minute special. I guess so today, I guess, wasn't the whole documentary. It was just a 60-minute version, but the full 90-minute one is on Thursday night. So set your DVR or whatever you got to do. But
I'll be watching that.
I watched the 60-minute one this morning, and yeah, it was. I'll tell you what, that was a fall from grace right there.
From hero to zero, real quick.
Yeah.
He dropped, man. I ever tell you that story about, because Ryan's a San Diego fan, but I ever tell you that story we were watching draft together that year?
Yeah, I don't remember if you did.
So yeah, during that draft, the number 1 and number 2 pick was Ryan Leaf and Peyton Manning.
Right.
And I'm a Colts fan, and Buddy Ryan is a Chargers fan. Colts had the number overall pick. And I'm sitting there going, oh, we're going to get Ryan Leaf. This is going to be so badass. A Cougar going to go. Yeah, I was all stoked. I was all excited. I was like, oh, Ryan Leaf, he's just, oh, God, I want to hug him, And he jumped up there, and he's like, Peyton Manning. I'm like, who the hell is this fucknut? Who the frick is Peyton Manning? God, and I was pissed, dude. I was slamming shit down on the coffee table, and Ryan's all like, yeah, we got Ryan Leaf, yeah.
Wow.
Well, we all know how that ended up.
Yeah. Well, I was trying to explain it to Maria this morning. I say, see the reason why Ryan Leaf is such an important figure, besides that he was the biggest bust in the history of the draft, right, is because for most of the country that doesn't know what the hell Pullman is or the Cougars, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they know Ryan Leaf. They could figure out, okay, that's Cougars, right? That's, you know what I mean? Most of the country, like, that's the only way they know Washington State. It ain't about the flag that shows up on game day every week. Well, maybe a little bit now, but it's Ryan Leaf. They say Ryan Leaf, they know, oh, that Cougars, WSU.
And you heard that story about like 3 years after his football fallout, that he was like in Pullman at the football games trying to pick up on college chicks.
No, it don't surprise me.
This guy was a shithole.
Yeah.
He definitely fell. And then there was a part, I thought there was a time, I'm going to have to watch the show because I'm actually kind of intrigued on him, but where he actually turned his shit around and was like, he was a high school football coach or something like that somewhere.
Yeah, they talked about that in the story. Yeah, he was actually it was a college. It was like West Texas A&M or something, and he was a quarterback's coach. But what happened was he had already had an issue with painkillers, and then when he was the quarterback coach, he actually hurt his wrist or something in practice because he was throwing some balls, and then he started in on the painkillers again. But it got so bad he was having players that had like legitimate medical issues get pills for him.
Ooh.
And then it even got to the point where so then at least he realized he had a problem then, and he quit. He resigned and went to Canada up in Vancouver to a rehab facility. Like, so he went away for a while. But here's the bad part of the story, right? So while he was in Texas, he had done some he he was getting bullshit prescription. He was trying to get drugs any way he could, the
Right.
painkiller stuff. And so an investigation had started while he was gone away. So when he tries to come back into the country, they nabbed him. They were waiting on him.
Ooh.
And as soon as he came back in. Yep.
Ooh.
Interesting story, but yeah, they cover the whole gamut. And yeah, I'm gonna have to watch the one on Thursday night. That's gonna be the full thing. I'll try to shoot you a text and remind you to set your
Man.
DVR.
Some people, well, hey, there's mental people out there. It
Mhm.
is.
He supposedly got it turned around now. Now he works for some company, typical, where he goes around and mentors and gives talks and stuff like that.
I think I'd have a hard time listening to him.
Right.
Because the only thing in my mind was just the meltdown in the locker room.
Oh yeah, they covered that too. I
Leave
didn't
me
realize.
alone.
So it's funny. You speaking of Ryan, I didn't realize this until today when I watched the show this morning. But do you remember that he actually started out 2-0? He started out his pro career 2-0.
I don't remember, no.
Yeah, he started out. He had a really good preseason, and he started out 2-0. And then it was Game 3. It was on the road in Kansas City in a monsoon.
I remember
And
the monsoon.
he was 1 of 15, one completion out of 15 attempts, and the completion was only like a 6 or 8 yard pass. He threw it was either 2 interceptions and fumbled 3 times or 3 picks and fumbled twice. So he was responsible for 5 turnovers, 1 out of 15. And that was the beginning of the end of his career right there. He never recovered from that. Yep.
That's funny.
That's a train wreck.
That is it's mental. He didn't have the mental. Hey, you know what though? They give the players the Wonderlic test.
Mhm.
You've heard about that, right?
Mhm.
And quarterbacks usually score the best.
Right.
I tried to do the Wonderlic test myself. Not good.
Yeah, you have to be quick about it.
That's the problem right there. Is that
You got to be able to process. You got to be able to process information quick, and that's obviously why quarterbacks should do the best at it.
Mm-hmm.
They got to read defenses and make decisions fast, and they have to prioritize things. And
yeah, they weren't hard questions for the most part, but I just did like the 10 sample question, and you had to do it like in a minute 33. And I think the actual Wonderlic test is 50 questions.
50 questions, yeah.
And you got to do it like in 8 minutes or something like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, I did the first one. I was like, oh, fucking Wonderlic test. I'm a badass. I'll be better than Peyton Manning. And then that second question came in, and I'm sitting there freaking counting. I'm like, whoa, what? Oh, god damn it. Oh, shit. Oh, what? And I spent like almost all my time on that second question because I was trying to do it so fast that my brain couldn't, like you said, process. I couldn't process.
Yep.
It was an easy question, but I'm sitting there trying to do the math in my head real quick, and I kept on farting it around, and
your CPU couldn't keep up.
my CPU couldn't keep up. So I think I got I was in the 33% range of it, whatever that means. Pretty much, it's just their way of saying you're a dipshit.
It was saying you were a defensive lineman.
Yeah.
Because all they got to know is go get the ball. Go get the ball, son. Go get the ball.
Give me the ball.
Right? They don't have to think about shit. They just go get the ball. Or the quarterback. Right?
Oh, that's terrible. So mean.
Yeah.
I'm a dipshit. One of these days we should try to do the Wonderlic test on here. It'd be like, oh my god. All right, buddy. Well.
Yeah, we better call it.
Any final? Because you said last time I cut you off on the outro before I pushed that button.
Oh yeah, I don't even remember what I was gonna say, but I'll say see y'all next week.
See y'all next week. No, not next week.
No show next week?
We're off next week.
We're off next week.
It's a holiday.
Oh yeah, it's Coca-Cola 600 next week.
We
That's what
got
next week.
Monaco. We got Indianapolis 500.
Yeah,
Then the
triple header.
Coca-Cola 600 on Sunday.
You gotta cook meat. You gotta cook meat and watch racing.
Oh, I'm barbecuing something. Something's getting put into the Rectech.
Yeah,
It'll definitely be a fat weekend.
yeah.
A couple pork butts and maybe a brisket.
So we'll see. We'll see everyone in 2 weeks then.
And then unless we could probably do something on Monday night.
Yeah, maybe we do a special, Memorial Day
Memorial.
edition.
Yeah,
There you go.
that might work. All right, everybody. So we're out of here. I'm getting the camera. I always forget where my camera's at. See, I do the peace. Peace out.
Peace out,
Peace out.
sucker.
Your cat's getting into your shit. Your cat's trying to fuck your shit up.
Yeah, I see him. He just woke up. He's ready to go.
Look,
He's like, see, show's over.
he's looking
See,
at the
he
door
heard
like
us.
he's waiting for
Yep.
you to.
Yeah. He's been sleeping in this co-pilot chair over there.
Nice.
He knows the show's over. He's like, it's time to go, sucker. I got to take a leak.
Shit. All right. Well, hitting the outro.